This video is sponsored by RenderHub. RenderHub is one of the community's best place to download 3D content, and this offers an impressive assortment of 3D assets from various categories which have been meticulously crafted to meet your demands as a 3D artist, with an amazing marketplace where you can download tons of assets, both 3D, 2D, audio, brushes, HDRI, stock footages, and references. More so, RenderHub also supports compatibility for all of the industry standard software and formats that are currently available. And of course, if you're looking for free content, you can definitely go over to RenderHub, where you can download a ton of free content. So whether you're looking for cars, textures, weapons, animals, sci-fi, building, or simple appliances or vegetations, RenderHub offers some impressive collections for 3D artists that transcends all boundaries. And of course, a huge shout out to the folks at RenderHub for making this possible. So if you're a Blender artist and you like working with free assets, and probably you like working with vegetations, then you definitely love this one, as the folks at Grasswald, creators of G-Scatter, has just recently announced that they're giving out their plugin and all of their assets for free. So at this point, if you'd like to get any of this high quality 3D assets, you can definitely go over to the link in the description that'll bring you right here, where you can pick it up and start working. And the cool thing, all of these assets are extremely high quality 3D assets that you can use to build your 3D worlds and create amazing visuals for yourself. And the reason why they're giving all these things free is because they've just recently rounded up their seed for 3.3 million. And the idea behind this seed is to create a more beautiful platform which is targeted to creating 3D content by simply using Gaussian splatter. And of course, this is something that is currently in the test and would come in 3 phases that will allow artists to create assets, edit this asset, and also share it with the rest of the world, as the main idea for the final tool that they're making is to democratize 3D creation with a current community of over 170,000. But then, that is for a tool that is currently coming, which is dealing more with AI. But for today's video, we're looking at G-Scatter and all of the assets that you can get with it. So first things first, you need to create an account to have access to all of these assets. Previously, G-Scatter was a tool that you can get for free, but this asset did cost a couple of bucks, and to see that you can get all of them now for free is pretty interesting. So just in case you're trying to get any of these ones, you can come here, scan through, and get them. So if you're looking for kitchen herbs, they do have about 5 assets right there. There's the garden glory that has 10 assets, the path side has 14 assets, the field middle has about 34 assets, and you can dive into any of these ones and start downloading them. So to all of the assets that we've just mentioned, they do come in pack. You can choose to get this as individual preset packs, or you can download them individually. So if you like to download this one, you can simply select that and you can see the file size, and depending on the format that you like to get this, then you can go ahead and download it. So in this case, if we like to get this as FBX, we can select that. If we like to get this as Alembic, we can select that. And finally, if we like to get this as the G-Scatter Blender file, we can also download it. And all of these file formats are only present for individual objects. If you like to get the full preset, this doesn't ship with those file format options, as you're just simply going to download this as one zip file that you'll be using inside of Blender. And how this works with Blender is extremely easy. So the first thing which you need to do is to download G-Scatter, and then we're going to simply fire up Blender. So Blender simply open up right here. How you get to work with this is super easy. So all you need to do is go over to Edit, go over to Preference, and install the add-on. Now on installing the add-on, you need to turn on the check button and you have to install Pillow. So once you have Pillow installed, click on the burger menu, save your preference, and close the preference window. And with that done, if you tap N on the keyboard, you would notice that down here we have G-Scatter. And how G-Scatter actually works is very easy. If you go over to the download section, you would notice that we've got a couple of things that we can download from here. Again, if there are assets that you like to download that do not exist on the download section right here, you can definitely go over to G-Scatter and download them from here. And like I mentioned earlier, these can either be downloaded as a preset pack, or you can download them as individual files. So in this case, we're simply going to click and download as many of these as we can. And once these are downloaded, this will display a notification box notifying you that the assets have been installed. So with this done, how you get to work with G-Scatter is extremely simple. And we're going to drop a simple grid. Let's scale this grid all the way up. We're going to go in and subdivide this about that much. So once we have that, what we need to do is to click on the eyedropper, select the plane, and if we click on this tiny button, which demonstrates that this is an asset browser, this will launch an asset browser where we can start adding the individual assets that we have to our scene. However, if you do have the presets, if you go over to environment, you would notice that we've got one right here. So all we need to do is to select that, and if we click right here on add environment, this is automatically going to load the environment onto the grid which we've just simply specified. Over here is where you get to see the individual elements or individual particles that makes this up, and you can turn this off or turn them on if you choose. If you like to add additional elements, you can go ahead and click right here and add additional elements if you choose. And for those who are wondering why is this small, this currently has a terrain boundary which you can click and scale from here. So say for example you like to scale this up, yes you can. So you can scale this to match your scene and get the desired results that you're going for. And you can tell that these are high quality assets that you can work with. For those who are thinking about adding some effect, there are some geometry node effects that currently exist here, and you can click on the add effect button to assign materials or simply generate terrains. So in this case, if we click on the terrain generator, this will generate a terrain for us, and of course you can see all the parameters that we will be needing in case we would like to use this to drive how the texture or how the positioning of this would be. So in this case, if we would like to get rid of that, we can come over here and click on the delete button and get rid of this particular one. So other things that you can do with this includes optimization. So in this case, if you like to add some camera culling, maybe some proxy settings, you can do all of that. There's also the environment creator. Over here, we've also got a couple of extras which deals with packing a Blender file and packing linked file. And for those who are thinking about how they can work with files that they download off the internet, of course, there are ways that you can do it. So for you to be able to do that, you need to download any of these. So like we mentioned earlier, let's say for example, we'd like to download some garden stuff. We can go ahead, select this, and for this one, I'm just going to go in and select the Blender G scatter. So we'd like to get the tulips, and I'm also going to download that. So with that downloaded, all we need to do is go over to Blender, and right here where we have our asset, we're going to click on this button. And from here, we're going to click on the install button, go over to the location where you have this downloaded. And in this case, I'm just going to click on that and click on install. So once we have that going, this would install that asset. Now with that done, we can click on OK, and we can go ahead and click on the asset browser one more time, scroll all the way to where we're going to find our tulips. And you notice that we've got a range of tulips right here. So the tulips we installed, it did not just install one tulip, but rather it did install a couple of those. So if we like to get the orange one, we can click on that and we can add this to scene, or we can scatter selected. And that is how easy it is for us to add the tulips if we like to have them in our scene. So just in case you don't see it, you can simply hide all the other ones and you'll be able to see those. So this is it. For those who are thinking about maybe rendering this and doing all that stuff, this is best rendered in cycles. But of course, if you like to render this with Eevee, then you can go ahead and check this out for yourself. So this is it. The folks at Grasswald has recently released G-Scatter and all of their Grasswald assets. And for those who are super excited about this, or maybe you're into vegetation and you like to explore all of this, then you can go over to the link in the description and grab this. This is a powerful tool for vegetations and landscape, and I'll suggest you pick this and add this to your set of tools that you currently work with. Tell me what you guys think about this one in the comment section. And of course, if you like this video or you learned something from this, you can go ahead and give a like and don't forget to share with a friend. And until I see you guys in the next one, peace.